All right, we are ready to go live. We're live? I think we're live. All right, let's check in here. Hello to the internet. Welcome to Moon Eagle Tai Chi. It's been a few months since we've done a live stream workout. Between the holidays, storm damage, which required folks working from home in the space where I normally live stream from, that has kind of gotten in the way of doing these monthly workouts. Plus, I've had some developments professionally, so I will be starting in a new facility locally, teaching at Independent Living Center. So I've been doing that. I've been making plans for teaching workshops in the summer, more related to my other channel. So I've been steadily busy. I've also been writing a whole bunch and sending drafts out for beta readers. So that's my way of apologizing for not providing a live stream workout for the last couple of months. But we're back on track right now, and we're in sort of an in-between phase with, is it winter, is it spring, we don't know. Maybe today it'll be winter, maybe tomorrow it'll be spring. Yesterday headed almost into summer territory. So that can be a big strain on the body. When that happens, it's good to take time to rest, for one, but also to really balance our chi, balance our energies, make sure that we are expelling sort of the dross of the season we've just been through, to make room for the energy of the season that we're entering into. So, that said, today we're going to be working on a form called Nurturing Wood. It's all about building up the wood energy, helping that get moving and flow in the body. And the wood rules over the organs of the liver and the gallbladder. It also has a big role in bones and tendons as well. So, just to give you a heads up on that. Also, if you're not sure about any of the moves that we do, if it's okay for you to do them, check with your healthcare provider. If you're in physical therapy, also check with them to make sure that these movements are safe and effective for you to do. It's harder for me since we're streaming. I can't see you. I can't tell if you're wincing. So you're going to have to be your own monitor for that. So let's go quickly over the rules of my classes. And that's rule number 1. If it hurts, stop doing it, even if I'm telling you to do it. I am not you, so I don't know your body. Rule number 2, if you feel like you're losing your balance, stop what you're doing, grab a hold of something, preferably not another person. If you're having some balance issues, make sure you have a sturdy piece of furniture close by that you can maybe brace yourself on to kind of help counteract that. And rule number 3, don't compare yourself to anybody else, especially me. Unless you really like being miserable, and then in which case compare yourselves to other people. The last thing, which is not so much a rule, but just a good guideline, do as much as you can comfortably do. If you need to take a break, you can always sit down and join back in when you are rested. And also, since this is being recorded, you can go back and look at it at any time. Trying to think if there's any other announcements. Maybe have some water close by, because of the breathing that we do, where we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. A lot of what happens is we expel a lot of moisture out through the mouth when we breathe out through the mouth. So we need to replenish that as we practice. And I hear the dog upstairs. He just dropped his bone. All right, I think that is it for announcements. Let's check to see if I have any questions or comments. Let me close some other windows so that there are no interruptions. I was editing stuff earlier. Let's see. Okay, got Google. No comments so far. All right, cool. If at any point in time the audio goes out, let me know. I should have enough for today. I've got half a battery life, and these should last about 6 hours each, so I'll charge them after today's just to be safe. Okay, so a little bit different. I actually brought my yoga mat down the stairs. I'm wearing my house shoes. See that I'm not practicing in those shoes because they are not great for that. I'm always eternally adjusting the angle and make sure you can see all of me. All right. So let's begin with our feet shoulder width apart. Have a slight bend in the knees, gently align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. Let's work with our alignment for a bit. Breathe deeply in through the nose, down into the abdomen, and really expand as far as you can upwards through the chest. We get into these corners here, we carry stress here, and we tend to close off our breathing there, and then let it out. So if you are using a sticky mat like this, you're going to have a little bit of an extra grip, which may make certain things more difficult, but will also maybe stabilize some people. I also get asked the question a bunch about whether you should practice in shoes, socks, or barefoot. It really depends on where you are and what you're doing. In the summer, I like to practice barefoot on my deck or out in the yard, just because it just feels good and it's cooler. In the winter, obviously, I'm usually wearing shoes. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Now let's bring our hands up to chest level. For bear embraces the tree. We'll tuck the tailbone in slightly. Sink your weight down through your feet, down into the ground. Don't be afraid to readjust your position here. And then extend and lengthen the spine. While remaining relaxed. Again, deep breaths in through the nose, down to the bottom of the diaphragm. Expanding upwards and also into the back so that we're getting every corner of the lungs filled before we exhale. Out through the mouth. It's really important to breathe deeply while we're doing this. If we're not focusing in on the breath, we're just doing very slow calisthenics. So as we inhale, exhale. Okay. I'm sorry about the thunderous. You might hear I don't know if the mic is picking up, but the crashing of the dog upstairs playing. Now let's sweep our hands up above, palms face up, shoulders wide, chest open. Keep the tailbone tucked in as you look up in between the hands. He's having a grand old time. I can hear him. So this is really also great for opening up those points in the chest that I was talking about earlier. When we tend to close in and hold tension, hold motions. And now let's sweep the arms down. Bring them an inch or two below the navel to dantian, your center of gravity. And on the exhalation, roll dantian over to one side, making a shallow aquabase. Inhale, hold it back to the center, and then exhale to the side. Inhale to the center, and exhale to the side. I know the mic really picks up the breathing. For some people that might be annoying, for other people they might like it as an ASMR. Everybody else in the house is asleep and I'm having a to the center. Exhale. Now, as you come to one side, you're going to turn from the waist, pivot on the heel, and turn and look towards one side. Inhale as you come back to the center. Exhale and shift over. Turn from the waist, pivot on the heel, and turn and look the other direction. So now, if you are using like a yoga mat or something like that, if you're not completely shifted over, when you start to turn, you're going to really feel that heel stick on this. And you might even feel that even if you don't. You might just feel a little bit of a tug because of the way this material is designed to grip you. Which, if you're having a balance issue, might be, even though it makes the weight shift just a little bit more difficult, that might be really beneficial for you to have. So do what feels natural to you. And if you, if you wear shoes to do everything, wear shoes. I like to practice in a variety of different things, just because, if I'm in an unfamiliar area, I'm always going to wear shoes. All right. Now let's bring the hands in front, curl your fingers over your thumbs, bend forward. And as you inhale, open the chest, drive the shoulder blades back, and as you exhale, make this hissing sound as you curl back in. I know the mic really catches that. Inhale and open. And exhale. Curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale. And then roll up back to center. All right. Let's take some deep breaths in and out. One of the reasons we do that exercise is to really, what's spinal cord breathing, is to really help us to open up. Now let's make an O with your fingers and your thumbs. Let your hands drop down and just start to turn from the waist. Just let the arms swing freely. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, let the turning of the waist generate the movement. We're going to go through basically some lymphatic work here. We're encouraging things to move. Also stimulating different glands and organs as we go across. Here right now we're stimulating the base of the spine. And now we're going to go ahead and come across the rib cage. Since we're stimulating here, roughly kind of where we're, and we're just lightly tapping, really, as we turn from side to side. We're not adding any force. The reason we make an O with our fingers and our thumbs is so that we do not make a fist. We don't want to wall up our kidneys. That would not feel good. And now we're going to go ahead and come across the chest. Have to be real careful with the mic. And we're hitting lung points during acupressure. So, coughing or clearing your throat is not uncommon while that happens. And as I said, these are points where we also tend to hold tension. We can also hold a lot of different emotions in those areas: grief, sadness, regret. Take your pick. And now give yourselves a pat on the back. mostly because our shoulders get really tight. And so we're just kind of lightly tapping them to encourage them to say, hey, you can relax if you want. I'm amazed sometimes, now let's come back across the chest, at the wide range of the webcam picks up the stuff I've pushed to the side in the background. And now come back across the rib cage. And come back down to the hips and the tailbone. And slowly come to a stop. All right. So now we're going to bend as we do. We're going to slap the inside of the thighs as we come up, tap the pelvis. And we're just lightly tapping. We don't want to leave a mark. This is just to stimulate this area of the groin. If you're moving kind of sluggishly in the morning, this series that we've been doing is a great way to start to wake up. One more time. All right. Well, let's lift one hand, take the other hand. We're going to gently tap down from the armpit to the waist. And switch sides. All right, now let's feel for the collarbones. Those little knobbly bits, and now let's come just below and we're going to gently tap. Tapping here on the end point for the kidney meridian. And don't forget to take deep breaths in and out as we do this. Now come to the center of the sternum. Most of the way through the warm-up at this point. And come just below the chest and then out to the sides. So in all my classes, I do a pretty long warm-up, like it's usually about a third of the class. And it really does help prepare the body. So we're hitting the sides and sometimes coming back in towards the center and then out to the sides. Spin points here, but all the stuff that we do in the warm-up helps us first with our alignment. Let's bring our hands in front. Feel the tingling in the palms, up the arms, across the shoulders, down the spine, down through the legs, bring your hands up, back to Dantian, and breathe in. And you want to breathe in enough that your belly sticks out a little bit. So, a lot of those big Buddha statues, it's like the idea of all the chi in here. That and the prosperity of like having enough to eat. So one of the reasons we take so long with these warm-ups has to do with the effect on the body, making sure we get into a good alignment, resetting our breath, And also, reviewing how to shift. So if this is your first time to the stream, welcome to the stream. This rolling of the hips as we shift from side to side is really important throughout our other exercises and our forms that we do. To be able to shift from one side to the other safely. And now, of course, we're about to do our balance movement, which is always supposed to be challenging, so that we are less likely to be off balance during our actual form. So we're going to do play the keepa today. So we're going to have one leg turned out at a 45-degree angle. The other foot's going to be in front, just slightly resting on the heels. We want to be upright through the spine. Whichever foot is in front, that hand's going to be on top. The other hand's going to be down below. And now as we inhale, we're going to lift straight up to play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down. You want to kind of imagine like there's puppet strings on that knee as you lift up to play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down. Inhale, play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down one more time. Inhale and play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down. Now let's switch and go to the other side. So the other leg is in front, the other hand's on top. Again, we want to be upright in the spine. We want to stay solid through this weighted leg. And as we inhale, we're going to lift up to play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down. Inhale and play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down. Inhale and play the keepa. Exhale, set it back down. Inhale and play the keepa. And exhale, set it back down. All right, let's take a sip of something before we get started with our Qigong series today. And I will also check to see if we have any comments. We do not. So I'm going to assume everything's fine and everyone understands everything that we're doing. And that I'm a good teacher. All right, so for our Chi Raiser today, we're going to practice dipping and splashing. This is one of my favorite moves because it really is good for the lower back. And also, it can really help warm you up if you're cold. So, and this floor is kind of cold, even through this mat, I can kind of feel that. So we're going to bring our hands, palms face up to our waist. And now as we inhale, we're going to shift our weight to our right leg, turn the waist to the left, and as you exhale, you're now going to scoop down the outside of the left leg, going only as far as is comfortable. So inhale, bring the hands together, come across the body, up over the head. Exhale, make as if you're splashing the face of the water as you sink down slightly. Inhale, bring the hands to the chest, and exhale, slight bow. If you notice, I'm not dipping very far and I'm not lowering my head when I do that, coming in, the sinking, and the bow. That's important. So inhale, shift your weight to your left, turn the waist to the right, and as you exhale, scoop down the outside of the right leg. Inhale, hands together, come across the body, up over the head. Exhale, splash the face as you sink down. Inhale, bring the hands to the chest and exhale. Slight bow. Inhale, hands to the side, shift to the right, turn to the left, and exhale, scoop down the leg. Inhale, bring the hands together, come across the body, up over the head. Exhale. Splash the face as you sink down. Inhale, hands to the chest, and exhale. Slight bow. Inhale, hands to the side, shift to the left, turn to the right, and exhale, scoop down. the body up over the head. Exhale. Relax the face as you sink down. Inhale, hands to the chest and exhale. Slight down. Hands to the side, shift to the right, turn to the left, and exhale, scoop down. Inhale, cross the body up over the head. Exhale. Splash the face as you sink down. Inhale, hands to the chest and exhale. Slight down. Make sure to keep kind of that spine upright as you come down. Don't just let your butt stick out. It's better for your back. Inhale, shift to the left, turn to the right, and exhale, scoop down the leg. Inhale, cross the body up over the head. Exhale. Splash the face as you sit down. Inhale, hands to the chest. And exhale. Slight down. Inhale, hands to the side, shift to the right, turn to the left, and exhale, scoop down the leg. And cross the body up over the head. Sink down, hands to the chest, and exhale. Slight down. You want your moves to be very intentional. So now shift to the left, turn to the right, and exhale. Scoop down the leg. Be present as you do this. Inhale, cross the body over the head. And exhale. Splash the face as you sit down. Inhale, hands to the chest, and exhale. Slowing down. Okay. Wonderful. That's a really great chi raiser. It's really good for the kidneys because of the way the muscles move. They kind of move across and kind of internally massage the kidneys. It really is great for the lower back. That release down and then the diagonal lift up. Really, most of the power in this is that diagonal lift. And even if all you do is go here, just below the waist, this is still really powerful. You may notice that when I go through the movements, I start not going down very far. And then what happens is this back loosens, and it naturally kind of do go lower. I used to always try to get to the floor, and I've stopped doing that because I'm not in my 20s anymore. So, take a little sip here, check comments before we move on to our chi balancer. Okay, we're good. And so now, we raise chi, we can enliven the back. And now we're going to move chi from one side of the body to the other with opening and closing the gate. Now we're coming into a low ball holding position. The tiger plated ball is like this. Opening and closing the gate is a low holding position there. So you really want to keep your attention and awareness focused in the lower hand. That will help keep you more relaxed in your shoulders. Because as we go through this movement, there's a tendency for the shoulders to creep up. And So I will remind you to relax your shoulders. So we'll start with this low ball holding position. And as we exhale, we're going to turn and gently press behind one side. Inhale and gather up another ball as we come towards the center. Relax your shoulders. And exhale. Press behind on the other side. Inhale, gathering up the ball. We come across. And exhale. Press behind. Inhale, gathering the ball. And exhale, pressing behind. So this movement is very simple, and that's generally what makes it challenging for people. They're always trying to rush ahead to the next step. Exhale as we press behind. Inhale, gathering up the ball, relax your shoulders. You're wondering how I can see you through the screen. And exhale, press behind. There is an instinct from teaching for so many years. I know about when people are going to be all tensed up. Exhale, press behind. It's kind of like a screw. Anyway, inhale as you come across. And exhale, press behind. In. Exhale, pressing down. Exhale, pressing down. Inhaling and exhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. And let's come back to center arm. Let's take a sip before we get started with our form Nurturing Wood. So I have OBS streaming software which allows me to see the audio mix and the audio bar as I talk. That's how I know that the mic is still working. I just realized that. In picking up my voice. So, and the reason I have this wonderful microphone set up has to do with one of my Patreon supporters who I've been working with. And basically, on top of their monthly contributions, sent a big donation a couple months back, which allowed me to purchase this really nice lapel kind of mic setup. And I had one before, but it was not very durable and it was breaking down. This one is more professional grade, so I am very thankful for my Patreon support. Thank you, Sean, for your support and your donations. I put it to work. So I do appreciate that. If I knew more about video and streaming, I would probably get something besides my webcam. Perhaps in the future, as stuff grows. So the wood energy is way more straightforward and linear than some of my other forms. It has a lot of up and down, and then very, I don't want to say rigid, but more straight moves than curves. There can still throw in the arcs and moves, but I'm just going to quickly go through kind of what this looks like, and then we'll go through it together step by step. And I will eventually have, I already have an short instructional video up on my channel. So once this video is processed, I'll put in end cards and stuff, and it will be posted. So if you want to go check that out on its own, it will be up in a card link above somewhere. Alright, so this form starts and the bear embraces the tree. This essence of being rooted. So I usually stay here for a couple of deep breaths in and of course, I come into the wood movement. This is out of 5 elements form, which is also now on my channel. Exhale. And then sinking down, and then coming back up into the wood. And then when you want to end, you come back into bear embraces the tree. So, a couple things about this form. This one does not have a huge balance movement in it. Pardon. It's really about connecting with the earth and projecting out and then sinking back down. And if you think about the wood and plants, they sink roots deep into the earth and they just really anchor themselves, and then they move out in different directions. The other thing that's going on is we're coming to the side of the head a lot with one of the arms and a lot of the movements. And what that has to do with is the gallbladder meridian that does this little hatchback over the ears. It goes back and forth. And so we're activating that because the gallbladder is a wood element, ruled by the wood element in traditional Chinese medicine. So that is the reason for that. That's why I put together this form this way. So let's begin. Again, feet shoulder width apart, have a slight bend in the knees. Gently align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. Float the arms up, and then the bear embraces the tree. Really get yourself nice and planted. Make sure your posture is good. Tuck the tailbone in just slightly. You're not, thrusting your hips forward so much as just rocking a little bit. Relax the shoulders, drop the elbows. And it's okay to move a little bit while you're in bear embraces the tree. I think the trees, they do move in the breeze. So find that, being rooted, but also feeling the motion within that stillness. And now go ahead and let and sink down. Now our opening movement would, so we inhale the hands move up, hips move back just slightly. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward. So that's wood and earth. Now you're going to shift your weight to the left leg, turn slightly in on the right, and shift over to the right. So the right hand comes up beside the temple, the left hand comes down below, and then as you exhale, you turn from the waist, and then press forward with the left palm as the right hand draws back. With a side strike. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to roll back and have what I call deer presses through the woods. So we're going to bring the hands and have the thumbs resting above the ears and have our fingers be like antlers. And then exhale, come down around and press forward from heart level. And as we inhale, we're going to roll back onto the right. Take that right hand by the side of the head as we turn that left leg in and shift over. And now we're going to have our hands come up and then we're going to sink our weight down. So the dantian's going to move down as we grow roots. And now we're going to inhale. And smooth up, hips move back for good. The tree grows. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward. Tree falls to earth. Inhale, shift to the right, turn in on the left. Left hand comes up beside the head, right hand comes up the center line, and then exhale as you turn from the waist, go to the right, and exhale. Press forward with the right palm as the left draws back. Inhale, roll back, tracing around the ears, and then exhale, press forward for deer presses through the roots. Inhale, roll back as you wipe the brow, come to the side, turn the right leg in, turn the left leg forward, and then exhale, sink down to grow roots. The tree grows its roots. Inhale, hands move forward, hips move back for the tree grows. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward, the tree falls to earth. Turn in on the right, on the side of the brow with the right, and then exhale, turn from the waist, press forward with the left palm as the right hand draws back. Inhale, roll back, and the deer presses through the woods. Inhale, roll back, and to the side of the brow, turn that left leg forward, turn the right leg forward, and then exhale. Tree sinks its roots. Inhale. Hands move forward, hips move back, the tree grows. Exhale. Hands move down, hips move forward, the tree falls to earth. Inhale, shift the weight to your right, turn in on the left. Left comes to the side, the brow. Right hand comes up the center line. Exhale, turn. Press forward to the right. Inhale and roll back. Moving the antlers and tracing around the ears for the deer presses through the woods as you exhale. Press forward with both palms. Inhale, roll back and wipe the brow, come to the side, turn the right leg in, shift over, turn the left leg forward, and then exhale. The tree sinks its roots. Inhale, hands move up. Hips move back for the tree grows. Exhale, hands move down. Hips move forward, tree falls back to earth. Inhale, shift the weight to the left, turn in on the right. Come up beside the head, the left hand comes up and exhale, straight to the left side. Inhale, roll back. Deer presses through the roots as you exhale. Press forward. Inhale, roll back onto the right. Come back with the right hand to the side, turn the left leg forward, shift, and exhale. Tree sinks its roots. Now as we come up into the tree grows, even though we're pressing back here, make sure you expand the air all the way up. Don't hold your breath. Now exhale, hands move down, hips move forward, tree falls to earth. Inhale, shift to the right. Turn in on the left hand comes beside the head, the right hand comes up the center line, and exhale, turn and strike to the right. Inhale, roll back, tracing around ears, deer presses through the woods. Inhale, roll back, wipe that brow and come to the side, And shift over, turn, and then exhale. Tree sinks its roots. And now we're going to go through this a couple times where I'm going to have minimal instructions. We're going to be focusing on the breathing, and we're going to do the wood breath. The wood breath is the shushing sound, so shh. So let's begin with Bear Embraces the Tree. So it's a long sinking in the Bear Embraces the Tree. This is a good pose. Now we're going to sink back in again and feel the tree grows. Falls back. The deer caresses through the woods. And transition now into sinking the roots. The tree grows. And falls back to earth. The roots straight to the right. Deer caresses through the woods. Transition now into sinking the roots. The tree grows. And falls back. Move straight to the left. The deer caresses through the woods. Transition now and come into sinking roots. Tree grows and falls back to earth. Just do once. Now to this other side. We'll strike to the right. The deer caresses through the woods. Transition across and sink the roots. Sink. And now the tree grows and exhale. Falls back to earth and finish our breath. Coming back into Bear Embraces the Tree. sink back down. All right. So for me, for whatever reason, this form is today at least is very common. And I think it's the sinking and that grounding actions, making contact with the ground. So let us start the cool down. I'm always shocked at like how little we can do in an hour. That's what happens when you take your time. All right, so I'm actually going to do kind of the qigong before we get into the movement. I'm going to do deep earth pulsing. We're in this a space between seasons, so it's good to really get that contact. So as we think, we're going to come up onto the ball of one foot as we raise slightly and exhale, sink down into the heel, and then shift over. Inhale, now come up onto the other ball of the other foot, and exhale, sink down in the heel, and come up on the other. Exhale, sink down, and come up, and exhale, down. So one of the things about this is that you don't have to make a large movement for this to be an effective exercise. And if you find yourself, having trouble doing some of the other balance movements, this is sometimes a safer one for people to do because there is still contact with the other foot. Once more. All right. So let's bring our hands to the lower back, and we're going to do some hip circling, but before we do that, we're going to rub up and down in the lower back. Which of course means later when I touch something now, I'm going to get shocked quite a bit because of the shirt I'm wearing. All right, now rest your hands on your lower back, and we're just going to circle the hips. All right, and now circle them in the opposite direction. Now we're going to do chin circles. So let's take the chin and draw a circle. And now go the other direction. We're going to see a pattern here. When we go one way, we always go the other way. There are very few forms where that's not the case. And now we're going to circle the shoulders back. And then forward. And then lift them up. And drop. And now shake the wrist forward. Turn them over. Come out to the side, bounce a bit in place. And now we'll finish the standing practice with some sheets. So as you inhale, your arms rise and breath. And exhale. Let them sink back. And since we're working on the wood element, why don't we do the wood breath with this? So as we inhale, exhale. Sink down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Grab a seat and we'll finish up with the seated Qigong. I'm really interested about how you guys feel after working with the wood element. A lot of the form that I put together was about this up and down, this because that's what you see a lot. You see, plants sinking roots down, but then also reaching up into the sky. I've done, I think, my Chinese astrology chart. The wood energy is something I lack a lot of. So I'm always trying to find ways. Wood and metal are my two weakest elements out of the 5 elements. So I'm always trying to find ways to shore those up and to tonify that. Now what we're going to do for our seated Qigong is actually we're going to continue this focus in wood, and we're going to do what I call the tree meditation, where from Dantian we sink roots down into the earth. We anchor ourselves, and then we pull up that nourishing chi of the earth up through the trunk of the body, up through the crown of the head, and have it spill down around us like weeping willow branches. So, go ahead and get comfortable. I usually tell people to not have your back up against the back of the chair, because usually what happens is they slump. So if you need to have some support there, that's fine, but do make sure you are aligning the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead, and hopefully you have a chair where you can get your feet flat on the ground while you sit in it. So you want to be upright. You want to be lightly held up by your core. So go ahead and close your eyes. And as you inhale and exhale, from Dantian, sink taproots down into the earth. Have them burrowing deep into the soil, branching out, anchoring you. And then inhale up the chi of the earth, up through the roots, up through the trunk of the body, up through the crown of the head, and allow it to, as you exhale, cascade down around you like weeping willow branches. So as you inhale, bringing the chi of the earth up through the body, up to the crown of the head, and exhale, cascading down like weeping willow branches. Inhaling chi up. And exhaling the chi back down to the earth. Inhaling, pulling chi up. And exhaling chi down. Inhaling up. And exhaling. Chi down. Inhaling up. And exhaling. Chi down. One more time. Inhaling. And exhale out the wood breath. Slowly allow that image to fade. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. So that's a wonderful grounding meditation. It's recycling the earth's chi through our own and then exchanging. We're doing that exchange. Just like as we breathe out carbon dioxide, plants breathe in, breathe that in and breathe out oxygen. That's what we're doing, this reciprocity between ourselves and the environment. So I hope you enjoyed today's workout. If you did, let me know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Anyways, bring your left hand palm face up. Inhale. Circle in towards the chest, down and around. Exhale. And in towards the heart. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.